Hello, and welcome to the Educational Fix Podcast. I'm Lau. In today's fix, we're going to be talking about anchor charts. Anchor charts are essentially charts that you place up in the classroom to help anchor your students to the lesson. Anchor charts can be used as visual aids for the classroom. They're very good at clarifying misconceptions. They're good at pointing out key points, summarizing things for students, and also presenting new ideas. They can be used in any subject. They can be used in any type of classroom. That's basically what anchor charts are. You may have seen them in classrooms you've been exposed to. They may have been examples of how to do a certain type of equation. They could be examples of different grammatical facts or concepts that they need to memorize. It could be different historical figures that have said or done something important, and that could be detailed on the anchor chart. They could be in any subject that you can possibly imagine, and they're very important to supporting instruction. Now, what is the problem that this fix solves? Well, anchor charts are really good for helping students acquire and keep key information that you want them to know. Oftentimes, the issues that I hear occur in classrooms is that students don't remember this. They don't remember that. Or they keep asking a teacher over and over again about a specific subject. And oftentimes, by putting an anchor chart in the classroom, you're going to mitigate all of those raised hands. You're going to mitigate all of those extra questions and side conversation between peers. You're going to allow students to be able to find their own information on their own. They're going to have to decipher the anchor chart and then apply it themselves. And that is a learning opportunity. Oftentimes, I might hear that a teacher doesn't want to give away answers, but if this anchor chart is something that you would have answered anyway if the student had raised their hand, you might as well put it on the wall so that they can find the information out on their own. Additionally, anchor charts are really good for expanding the mind and helping students explore new information. Anchor charts are really good at giving them a clue beyond what the lesson talks about in detail that you're possibly not able to provide in any one lesson. So an anchor chart can explain concepts that span the entire quarter or the entire unit. So the students have access to that information without you having actually taught it yet, because it's up there on the wall. And it gives them the opportunity to process some information that's going to be useful or important to them in the future. And it also makes your class work a lot easier because they're not constantly asking questions that they can answer for themselves. It also makes students feel good because if they weren't paying attention and this was something that you taught them, they could just find the information on the wall. There's no need to shame a student for not paying attention or making the whole classroom feel bad for not grasping a concept. They can just take a look at that anchor chart and find the information themselves. And oftentimes, just by having that on the wall, it gives them a clue for test taking. We know that during most standardized tests, anchor charts have to be removed. But what you'll notice in a lot of schools and in a lot of testing environments is that students will look to the area where their anchor chart was, because just having remembered what it looked like and where it was in the classroom gives them clues of memory to recall that information and then apply that information on a test. So how are anchor charts implemented? Honestly, you can go about it a number of different ways. You can print them yourself and make them yourself from your laptop and print them out on some copy paper or on a big old poster. You can buy them from the store and you could just let them sit there on the wall. Or you can take a little mini lesson out during your day and say, hey, this is an anchor chart. It tells us this. This is what we're going to be using. Or it could be something that you're actively using throughout your lesson. So, referring to the anchor chart, this is the thing we're talking about today. Here's how we're going to learn it. And it can substitute or complement what you have already prepared in possibly a slideshow presentation or something you've written on the whiteboard or chalkboard. It's really up to the teacher whether or not they're going to expand on the anchor chart or just let it sit as a educational treasure box. But they're very, very useful tools that teachers can use in a number of different ways to support their students. Thanks for joining the Educational Fix podcast today. I hope that you use this fix in your classroom right now. If you're interested, please check out my books or Thriving Special Education. I'll see you soon.